Hello there, Lorcana Lovelies. So I am playing around with a new deck. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It is an Amber Amethyst Madrigal deck, and the whole idea behind this is sing songs with all of your characters, draw a bunch of cards, and somehow win. That was kind of where my mind started. And I thought I'm going to need a lot of card draw on this. I'm going to need some good options. And I threw something together with cards that seemed to synergize that I thought, oh, these all look pretty fun. And I was kind of blown away by how much card draw I could get and then what I could do with that card draw afterwards. So let me show you what the deck list looks like. You can give it a try yourselves. Tell me what you think. This is iteration, I think, 2, and I will probably rip it apart and rebuild it again multiple times. But this is what I'm currently working with. So I've got a lot of the singer package. Like I said, it is a sing-along style deck. So it has your 4 Cindy's, your 4 Ursulas, your 4 Ariels to have a bunch of singers in it. And most of the rest of the stuff is madrigals. You can kind of see that there's a couple not madrigals. So there's like the Clawhauser bodyguard, and there's a crab. I'll explain those, and a Jafar. I'll explain those in a couple minutes. But the vast majority of the rest of the deck is all kind of madrigal themed cards or draw cards or songs that I thought would have to answer something that my opponents might be playing. So I have two one drops, so like 4 4, so 8 1 drops between the Cinderella and the little Maribel. And then I have Ursula as the 2 drop, and then a bunch of 3 drops. And the reason I have a bunch of 3 drops is because the Antonio Madrigal finds you any 3 drop you want. So he lets you look through your entire deck and pull anything that is 3 ink or less and put it into your hand, which also just became a awesome mechanic to go and find anything that was 3. Um, so the way that I kind of went about designing this deck was I found the cards that all seemed to synergize. I played it a couple times. I saw that Antonio had a lot of potential, and then I went and I looked at what other 3 drops that I could play. But before I can get ahead of myself here, let's go into what inspired the deck. So what inspired the deck was when I saw Alma Madrigal and Fantastical Magical, and I read these and I thought there's got to be something here. Fantastical and Magical lets you sing Singer 9, sing with as many characters as you want. So, like, let's say 4 characters. Sing 4 with 4 characters, gain 4 lore, and draw 4 cards off it. Then Alma says once during your turn, you can, and when your characters sing songs, any characters that sing that song can ready. So you sing with your 4 characters, Fantastical and Magical. You gain 4 lore, you draw 4 cards, you ready all of them with Alma, and you do it again. And I just thought the amount of potential for card draw there's got to be something to be able to do with it, this. I mean, one of the reasons why I often find myself losing at Lorcana, other than me getting sleepy and hungry and totally just turning my brain off, is that I just don't have the cards in my hand to be able to have the options or answers to do anything in the game. And this just felt like there was so much cards that I could draw off of it. So that was kind of where the deck started. And then I went through and I found all the madrigals. I pulled them all out and I started to try to figure out what else could synergize with it. So other cards that are kind of like key cards in the deck, if you will. We have this very pretty Maribel here. I like to play my Enchanted, so I don't have her in Enchanted yet. I'm loving her, so I need her in Enchanted. But she turns out to be a very good card. Whenever she quests, you get to return a song with cost 3 or less from your discard pile to your hand. Friends on the other side pops out to me as an option, but there are a lot of other options depending on what you need. If you want to, if you need to get rid of something big, World's Greatest Criminal Mind. If you need if you need card draw, there's friends, there's other options in the deck to be able to get back from your discard pile. So it made it so that I no longer need it to have 4 of each song in my deck for the odd chance I'm going to need it against a very specific deck. And I've dropped a lot of songs down to like 2 ofs because if I could just fetch them out of my discard pile, it made it a lot kind of safer to cut cards down from 4 ofs. Another card, another Maribel, is the Evasive Singer one. So an Evasive Singer 5 is great. Having something that is evasive is always nice because it's a little bit safer to turn it sideways. You also can hit those annoying Diablos with it. I mean, she's not going to take Diablo out in one shot, but I have answers for that later. Star card, I read him and I thought he's got to be good. And I didn't realize how good he would feel until I started playing him. Antonio says once during your turn, whenever one of your characters sings a song, put a go look through your deck for a character with cost 3 or less and put it into your hand. So I played with him a couple times. I was able to get things like aerials to be able to go find more songs, the evasive Maribel here. But I started to realize if I could go and look for anything, what are the situational cards that I might want to be able to go and find that either might fix some problems or win me the game? And I've got that in my next slide coming up here. Actually, I've got one right here beside him. So one of them was Peppa. So Peppa says whenever one or more of your characters sings a song, you gain a lore. So in my imagination here, I was sitting at say 18 lore. And I just needed to be able to gain 1 or 2 extra lore to win that game. So sing a song with anyone, go find Peppa with Antonio, play Peppa, and then if you can sing 2 more songs, you can push yourself over the edge there. So it was kind of the first thing that I thought, okay, Antonio and can go find Peppa, and like I can get benefits from it right away by being able to get that lore off of the songs that I'm going to sing. Next kind of thoughts that I had here were what other cards could I go find with Antonio to be able to fix some of the problems? Big one is Merlin Crab. So if I go find Merlin Crab with Antonio, I play him, all of a sudden my characters are hitting for 3 more. So that evasive Maribel, she can now take out a Diablo if you need her to. Some other kind of like problem cards that I thought was, or some problems that I thought might be, all of a sudden, all of my singers are sideways and they're opened up to being hit. Well, what bodyguard could I go find that is a 3 ink or less to be able to go put him in front of my characters so that they have that little bit of extra protection? I found the Clawhauser here, which is bodyguard and a singer. So we kind of synergizes with the deck like that. And the fact that I can find both of these off of Antonio means that I only put one of them in the deck because I've got a much better chance of being able to find them than if I was just relying on card draw. A couple of other cards that I have for like fixed problems are the world's greatest criminal mind. So those Maui sharks or anything that's really big, you can get rid of it with this because you're not really challenging with this deck if you don't have to, which means that you need to have a way to get rid of characters another way. And without the steal for like the direct damage, this is kind of the best that I could do for getting rid of the real big things. Last kind of problem solving card is the bare necessities. So if you're playing against somebody who might be prepared you, or if you're playing against Steel Song that might have a whole bunch of removal, you can bare necessities to try to get rid of the stuff from their hand. And the fun thing is with that Maribel that gets you cards back from your disc or your songs back from your discard pile, you can get both of these back to be able to recur them and do them again. What do I got next? So next I have a couple of a bunch of songs. So I guess I've got kind of my song package here that I thought were really good with this deck. So the first one that I've got here is the Family Madrigal. It is a look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You put a madrigal and a song in your hand. So there's like 23, 24 songs, I think, in this deck, and a lot of madrigals. So chances are you should be able to find both a song and a madrigal off of this, which should kind of help you kind of push your game plan along a little bit better. Another one that I have here is Zero to Hero. So one of the reasons why I like Zero to Hero in this deck is because you will get a bunch of characters out, and this lets you cheat in some of your bigger stuff. So your bigger stuff would be like Jafar or Alma, or even the 7-drop Bruno. So the big characters that ideally you want that ink to be able to play a whole bunch of other characters, so it's kind of like a swarm style deck. This lets you kind of be able to play those and have ink to spare. I've also got Fantastical Magical, beautiful card. The artwork is absolutely gorgeous, but also a very like great card in this from, like I said before, for each character that sings a song, gain a lore, draw a card. It's great in this deck. And then I have Second Star to the right. So this came out a while ago. I kept thinking, oh, this has got to be good with Jafar. And it does feel good in this deck, especially when you do have Jafar out, because you just draw 5 cards. And again, Magical Christmas Land, you have Alma out. She lets you ready all of your characters so that you can just draw more cards again with whatever other song you've got to draw cards with. Last kind of a couple of cards that I will highlight here, feels like I'm going to go through the entire deck, is I've got Maribel, the Curious Child. So this grouping of cards are kind of like my finisher cards, what kind of pushes the deck over the edge so you don't have to actually be really questing. You can almost win without questing at all. So Maribel is great. You can find her off of Antonio. And if you're just missing that one or two lore, she almost feels like a goat in this deck, where if you play her, you really should have a song in your hand. You show your opponent the song and you gain a lore right away off of her. So if you see a world where you're at like 18, 19 lore and you can play her, you can get that one extra lore from what's in your hand. Going along with this, like I said before, is Peppa. So if you can play Peppa, she does not have to be the one singing in order to get you the lore. She doesn't have to be turned sideways, nothing like this. She just has to be sitting out there and a character needs to sing a song and you gain a lore. And the last one is the big one. It is Jafar the Striking Illusionist. I absolutely love Jafar, and I really want him to be in an awesome deck, and I feel like he feels awesome in this deck. Jafar is evasive, so it's good to have evasive. They're safer to turn sideways, and they deal with birds. But also, he says that during your turn, whenever you draw a card, you gain a lore. So you can see where I'm kind of going with this. You turn Jafar sideways, and you just get a whole bunch of lore. And in fact, I'm going to show you my example. So here's kind of my example here. I've got some cards out. I've got some cards. We're going to pretend like these are my hand here. So I've got some singers. I've got Cinderella. I've got Ariel. I've got the evasive Alma. And we'll say that I've got an Alma out here. Now I could quest with all of them. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lore that I would get from questing with them. But let's see how much I can get again in like this unbelievable world where I get kind of a great hand right away. But I will say, I've done this a bunch in playtesting, so this isn't as rare of a situation as you might think. So we're going to exert a bunch of my singers. So that's 3 for singers, another 5 there, so I've got 8. Another 5, so that is going to be 13. So way past what I need to sing. We're going to sing with Jafar as well, and we're going to sing with Alma. So with all of my singers out here, we can easily sing fantastical and magical. So I would gain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lore from fantastical and magical. I would draw 5 cards. And then because I drew 5 cards, I would gain 5 more lore off of Jafar. So if you're counting, that's 10 lore that I'm at so far for this turn. Because I sang songs with Alma, sang songs and Alma's out, I get to ready all of my characters. So turn all of my characters back upright, put them back all in their nice line that they were in before. And then I can kind of do it again. But let's say I'm not really going to do that again. Let's sing with Cindy this time. We're going to sing Zero to Hero with Cindy. We'll tap the ink that I haven't put out here, but by this point in time, if I've got this many characters out, I've got ink. And we're going to Zero to Hero in another Alma. So Alma just came out. She's ready there. Cindy sang this. We're going to sing 1, 2, 3, 4. That's way more than oh my goodness, that's way more than the 10 here that I need for second star to the right. So let's say that we're playing second star to the right here. I've now just drawn 5 more cards. I have gained 5 more lore because of Jafar. So now we're sitting at a big total of 15 that we've gained for the turn. And then I didn't sing it with Cindy, so she's stuck being exerted there because I have a second element out. I get to ready everything yet again. So if I'm at 15, all I really need to do now is quest with them. But after that many cards, I can almost guarantee you that you're going to see another one of these two, which means that you can just turn them all sideways again. You can sing one of those and pick which way you want to win. Do you want to win by gaining your lore off of the pretty fantastical and magical, or do you want to gain it off of the second star to the right? So that's kind of the gist of how this goes here. It's a great feeling to win without having to quest in the slightest. Uh, as I kind of said towards the beginning, there's multiple games. Almost every game, I had below 30 cards left in my deck each time. In fact, a couple times I had like 15 cards left in my deck. So by that point in time, you really should see the answers that you need. Whether it is a crab to fight things, whether it is all of your singers and your songs, whether it is your nice pretty Jafars here, or a bunch of the Almas to be able to just keep untapping things or readying things. It is a great feeling deck. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, I'm going to pull this apart and make some more adjustments to it. So if I have some updates for my deck list, I will post them. But this was the Sing Along Magical deck, and I suggest you give it a try because having like 30 cards in your hand feels awesome. Have a great day.